Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM, AM 630. WMAL.
It is 8:37 on the Morning Majority, and it is a birthday of sorts. It's the 15th birthday of your Fox News channel. And joining us now on the phone line is our good friend Bret Baier, the host of Special Report with Bret Baier. Hey, Bret, I was trying to remember before you got on the line. Were you there for the launch years ago?
I was not there for the launch, Brian, but I was there soon after. The Atlanta Bureau started in my apartment with a fax machine and a cell phone.
Yeah, I was there from years 2 through 14. But, I mean, the people who were there at the launch, you hear these amazing stories of how difficult it was to get that thing off the ground in a matter of like a couple of months. It really was quite an accomplishment, and has been number one since year 4. Yeah,
pretty amazing. December, it'll be 10 years at number one. And it's been, as you know, quite a ride. And in the early days when I was traveling around hiring freelance crews around the Southeast, I'd call people and say, "Yeah, I'm with Fox News Channel."
They say, "What?"
Is that the Simpsons network?
Well, I don't know. I want to hear some secrets.
Solid program.
I mean, what's going on behind there? Why is it so successful? Do you guys have like little signs that say like "Play like a champion today," like Notre Dame has? I mean, what do you got going on there?
You know what? It was just a great equation that the big boss Roger Ailes set up, and it really worked. And it also, he had an amazing eye, still has an amazing eye, I think, for finding people who will blossom into talent for years to come. And I think that it's also that we've always kept that kind of scrappy attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Like despite the fact that we've been number one for a long time, we're kind of lean and still digging it out every day.
I remember being there one day, and a memo came down from Roger Ailes that said, "Today we are a talk channel that does a little news, and tomorrow we will be a news channel that does a little talk." Now, that would take months and months and months at most places to implement.
Right.
It happened overnight.
Yeah.
It was astonishing. I've never seen anything quite like it in my life. Just because he said it would be so, it was so.
That's true. And I think the development of the news product has been really the success story of the TV. If you think about in the shadow of CNN, to start a network really from scratch and then come to where we are now, arguably our news product is breaking stories and getting a lot more credit than controversy.
You said you're lean. Does the CNN have more employees?
Absolutely.
Really?
Sure.
By a large number.
Still to this day.
I mean, they have more crews, they have more people, and yet, I can't think of a major story that's happened over the last 10 or 12 years that Fox has been beaten on. You don't need more people, you just need the right people.
I agree, Brian. And we've, I think we've got it down to a science. We have really good people, and we're still kind of hungry. And, our next target is broadcast networks. On the midterm elections, we were number one of all television networks for coverage on election night.
Well, speaking of news breaking, how big a deal is this Harry Reid stunt from last night? It seems to me like a pretty huge overreaction to what amounted to a dispute in the Senate. He goes and changes the rules.
Yeah, well, inside Washington, and for folks like Brian who've been up on the Hill for many years, it's a really big deal, and for Mitch McConnell, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
For the middle of America, understanding the nuance of Senate rules,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
It's
not
impossible
sure
to understand.
It translates. But the bottom line is that Democrats are not comfortable with voting on this jobs bill. And when the vote comes Tuesday, it'll be interesting to see the John Testers and the Claire McCaskells and the Ben Nelsons and the Joe Liebermans and Joe Manchins and where they stand on this vote.
But don't you agree that war pretty much has been declared between Democrats and Republicans in the Senate? I mean, this was as we've said, sort of likened to a tactical nuke going off, but the big nuclear option is just like it's inevitable now.
No, that's true. And for all of, I mean, if you go back in the video archives and look at
we did.
Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid, and being very upset about tactics of the majority, the Republican majority. This is an about-face, and it is war. I mean, it is turning the Senate, according to Mitch McConnell, into the House.
You mean this comment from Harry Reid in 2005?
No, we are not going to follow the Senate rules. No. Because of the arrogance of power of this Republican administration.
Yeah, maybe we got lots of them like that from 2005. It's a little bit of a different story, as we were saying. Yeah. It's not the full, hey, let's not have a filibuster, but it gets you to that point at least, or it can get you to that point.
Yeah, and I think, again, I think the overall story is here's a White House and a president that's saying, pass this bill now, and then this just painful kind of Senate minutia of the rules to not have a vote on the bill that the president has put forward.
Exactly.
All right, hey, last thing before we let you go, the new segment you have, the Center Seats, with Michelle Bachmann on last night. It's got a lot of positive reaction. Was that your idea, Bret?
You know what? It came from a viewer.
Really?
I love those.
Cool.
Yeah.
Somebody emailed a Special Report and said this would be a great idea, and I forwarded it around to everybody, and I said, you know what, this would be a great idea. So we started the planning and kind of developed it, and we have almost every candidate signed on and scheduled already.
Cool.
So it'll be fun.
The idea is to put them in the hot seat with you and others and answer questions for a long period of time. It was like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's about, it's actually 3 segments, so it's actually longer than that, about 30 minutes. We do 2 segments on Special Report, and then we hold it over to Special Report Online, where people can ask questions or make comments directly to the candidate on the online show.
Well, Bret Baier from the Fox News Channel, again, happy birthday wishes to everyone there. Continued success.
Thanks, Brian. You were a big part of it, buddy.
You know what? I one of the proudest things of my life has been my association with the Fox News Channel. I'm really proud to have been a part of that news group.